What is up, y'all boys? Oh my god, it's been a minute since I said that. Peep the mustache, bro. I'm a new man. But let's be for real, man. A couple updates with the brand, with the store. I've not been recording, man. I've been like really off the grid. And just a lot of execution on my part. Like, I don't know why it happened, but I feel like I'll go into a tangent if I start rambling on that. I think it's probably gonna be like 2 or 3 weeks since I recorded a video. These last 2 to 3 weeks. Up and down, bro. Oh, up and down. I think one of the biggest changes is I went away from I was using a quiz funnel. I don't know if I said that before. Tried a quiz funnel, and I ran that funnel from January to first week of April. So almost like 3 months, almost. I got a whole bunch. When I say I have a lot of data, bro, I have so much data. Like, I kind of framed my quiz data as like marking questions that I kind of had, and honestly, they were still like questions to build conviction. But in getting those responses, it also gave me additional insights. So for a minute, I only had around 1,000. I only had around 1,000 because Hayflow limits you depending on what plane you get on. And I was able to get access to all 10,000, maybe at some point in March. So it was pretty impactful. But I had to go away from it because when I had looked, see, I look at the data, and maybe I'd be doing too much looking at the data, but bro, like, I was looking at how many people were getting to the actual lander, because the quiz doesn't have a pixel because it's a whole nother URL. It redirects to the website. So I was trying to see how much of a drop off was, and I was finding out that, like, bro, it was so cooked. Like, let's say I got 1,000 clicks, or let's say I got like 500 clicks in one day. Maybe like 20 or 30 people are getting to the lander, but those 30 people need to be like hella primed. But still, the drop off that was being presented was so extreme that it didn't make sense. I will say my add to cart, cost per add to cart, was about the same as it was when I had a listicle, but it was just like the amount of drop off, especially because I ended up raising my prices. My AOV, I don't know what I said in my last video. My AOV as of right now is officially $65, consistently. Which has been like really impactful because I can spend a lot of money on ads. Like, I can spend up to like $45 to acquire, really like $42, to acquire a customer, and that's a lot, bro. That's a lot. Like, and now, I'll say, like, spoiler alert, I've been pushing budgets. Nothing crazy, like nothing crazy at all, but I haven't been able to move budgets after being stagnant for so long. And I think it's because the quiz funnel, I realized how much the quiz funnel was holding me back in a way. Because I don't know what happened with my traffic, but something changed where people were not watching the full video. So I had to get better at adding retention throughout the video. And honestly, that could be a whole topic in itself. But if I had to direct you to somebody, it would be Spencer. You watch Spencer from Evolve. His videos, he talks about open loops, and definitely in his most recent video, but he's mentioned it before. Fascinations, just open loops and retention statements, things that leave questions unanswered so that the viewer can continue to watch. When you answer things too soon, they'll either click through or they'll just keep scrolling because they got the answer they were looking for. And I feel like my ads were kind of doing that too much. And because of the market sophistication level that I'm in, it's pretty unique because these people have been dealing with this problem for so long and literally have tried so many things over the decades that they've had this issue that they're almost like they're fatigued, bro. Like, they're fatigued. They're highly skeptical. So when I make claims too early in the ad, it's just a retention piece. So I had to stop making early claims. Like, you really got to understand your market. See the level. See, that's why when I see new people come into the market, like, I look at their ads, I look at their stuff, and it makes me want to, like, I don't know, I guess inherently I'm like, oh my God, if that's working for them, I don't want to miss out. So you end up wanting to like try what they're doing. But I sure, to really making this income shit, you have to be able to think for yourself. You have to be able to learn And even I know people be talking about like calorie ripping and all this other stuff, and I mean, yeah, maybe to get started, but I don't know. When I came into Facebook, I wasn't a true beginner because I was doing organic for a minute. So I like understood editing. I understood like, kind of coming up with concepts. Like I understood a couple things. I never scripted a video before, so I guess that was definitely a learning moment for me. So yeah, I never made an ad until like January, right? Until June. I guess I wasn't a beginner, but it's not like I really had true copywriting experience. Um, it took me like 2 or 3 months not to see my first, success, to make my first 100K month, like on an ad that I made, like. And you have people that rip for a gazillion years, but they don't really learn anything, and it's because you literally need, like, people say it's overcomplicating things for beginners, having them learn how to make ads. I've seen a whole bunch of stuff like that, but honestly, I feel like it's mainly people that are like pushing courses towards ripping that say things like that. And like I said, I'm take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, because I guess I wasn't a true beginner, but dog, like, I don't even know how I got to that, but I guess I'll go back to my AOV being $65. I'm trying to push that to about $70 to $75 through post purchase and some in cart upsells. I have like a nasty ass offer that um allowed all this, and then I have a winning ad right now that oh, sorry y'all, I don't even know why I'm yawning, that has like around a 20 some dollar CPA, like a $25 CPA, which is insane because once again my AOV is what it is, and my profit margin on my AOV is really like 80%, but it's 70% for whatever. Well, I'm not gonna get into it. So there's just hella margin there, and economically, I just have the room to scale through like the offer pricing and how like it's just making it easier. And then when I reduce the friction in the lander, that was also amazing. Also, another thing that I did, I probably should have got to this before the quiz because I'm pretty sure I brought up the quiz before. I actually got onto the phone with customers, bro. I got on the phone with about 4 to 5 customers and offered them. I literally sent them an email. It was like, give me 15 minutes, I'll give you $60. That's what I said. But really, I just meant like, you know, the value of $60 to them, but for me, it's only gonna take me like 10 $8, whatever, to ship out product to them for free, because that's how much the cogs are, of course. So I was kind of framing it like that, and I got a couple people. I've got them booked on like on my, what you call it, calendar or whatever it's called. And then I actually hopped on the phone with them, asked them some questions, just really had a conversation, just authentic, and I got some amazing insights that I was able to translate into ads, and that's how I'm where I'm at right now. I come from a unique position. The brand has done probably, I haven't looked, but it's probably done around like 450, maybe even half a million at this point. Probably not. Probably around like 450. But it's crazy. We're probably coming up on half a million. Um, Not like I'm loaded or anything like that. Very much poor. But it's coming for sure. It's definitely coming. Um, and I'm poor as fuck. Because a couple months we're at a loss. I'm gonna be like complete transparent. Like, I don't want nobody to think I don't ever want to fake it like at all, bro. Like, I'm trying to be as authentic as possible. That's my brand, bro. That's who I am, bro. So if I even think for a second I'm being fake, I'm poor, dog. Um, what you call it? So, things are looking like pretty up on the up and up. I really just had to. Oh, I was bringing up copying competitors because I'm looking at my competitors and they're like making all these claims, they're doing all these like long style ads that are nice, but the insights that I have in this market after being in this market for so long, I have such an understanding of my avatar, being able to talk to people. I now have a post purchase surveys that are always going. Um, shout out, bro, for telling me to do that shit. Um, which has also got me amazing insights I was able to translate into a listicle. Um, and I don't even know if I want to go on over that too much. Like, I don't want to go over it too much. I don't know. I only got a couple followers, but like I said last time, I like really opened up around the brand when I had that video that did around like a 500 or 700 views. I think it was like the end of year video where I showed the screenshots, bro, like 2 days later, I got like 5 competitors, bro, and I'm just like over that shit. Like, I'm over that shit. I'm not about to just really reveal all my baskets or whatever. You don't know who's watching on the internet. Um, but yeah, once again, I'll go ahead and say, hopefully, knock on wood. I feel like every time I talk, like, something comes and humbles me, and I really can't afford that right now. So it's gonna knock on wood. Everything's going pretty good right now. I'm actually have a trip next week. I'll probably record a video on. It'll be some cool shit. I'm going on a cruise. I actually I bought this cruise in December when I had a little bit more cash to my name, and it wasn't too expensive. But I figured, I was like, I'm probably gonna be doing like 10K days in April. You know what I'm saying? I'll be rolling. Why not? But I should be able to be doing back at 3K days. And once I get to 3K days, 4K days is damn near automatic because that's when I'm gonna open up worldwide again. I'm only like 2 bumps away from 1.5K daily spend, which would be around 3K days if ROAS looks right, at least a 2x. But even if it's like a 1.8, like I'll end up pushing the budgets again, and But my KPIs really, I need that 2 ROAS, bro. Oh, another thing that is really, really impactful. I changed my parameters for how I scaled, and it gave me more room to scale. I'll shout out Adam Griffin. His video, he referenced how he scales if he's at least break even. As long as he's break even to, I think, 2 ROAS, anywhere between break even to 2 ROAS, he bumps 10% every 3 days. He has 4 check-in days really every 3 days. He'll check into the ad account. He does like a color grid joint. And anytime he's at least break even during that period, he bumps budgets 10%. Okay. And for me, I was only bumping if I had 3 days consistently at 1.8 ROAS. That's what I was doing. And that did not allow me to push budgets as much because if one day is like a 1.6, I'm still making money, but I'm not pushing budgets. But when you think about how Facebook works, the algorithm, they don't look at it day to day, they look at performance over a week. So me limiting my ability to scale over consistent performance day to day was limited. Of course, if you're downtrending, like if you had a 2 ROAS one day and the next day you had a 1.8 and then the next day you break even, probably don't push budgets, big dog. Definitely hold. But things are just like Facebook's just doing its thing. I've been able to move budgets like that. I will say usually I do a 20% at 1.8, but I kind of just stay true to his shit. And he says if it's over 2%, he does a 30%. And what you gotta understand is like once you get past like maybe like $300 or $500 a day, those little 10% bumps move the needle, bro. I mean, honestly, probably not at 500. I'd probably say maybe like at like 600, 700. But everything is so volatile when you're under 1K daily spend. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't even be mad at you just like taking your time. Honestly, I used to surf scale up until maybe like $500 or $700 a day. Really like $500 a day. Now I'm never surf scaling again. I'm cool off that shit, bro. No point. I'll probably do it on like a holiday or something on in a separate campaign that's not my evergreen campaign, because surf scaling it always just doesn't work out in my favor. Yeah, last thing, I'm also using my product page to not just be a product page, but to be a page of conviction. Okay, I'm realizing I'm putting people through the VSL, then taking them to a listicle, and it makes more sense for the angle that I'm going for. But then they get to the product page, and it's not necessarily generic, but I need more reviews. I need to definitely do more reviews. Today I'm not even scripting, because my editor, he wanted to move from 10 to 5 ads a week, which is fine. I'm just doing 5 really high intent ads a week. And honestly, it's been working out so far, so that's pretty cool. So what I was about to say, I really like 5 to 7 ads, but regardless, they're watching all this stuff, and then they get to the product page, and it's like I said, not enough reviews. And that's why post-purchase is so important, because so many people responded that in the post-purchase that they weren't sure if it was going to work for them. He's like, I'm not sure this is going to work for me. That's what made me almost hesitate from buying. And then it was like, what made you buy anyways? And it was like, uh, the guarantee. They tried everything else so far, so why not try this? And then it was like the problem explanation made sense, and the ingredients made sense, right? But more people were just picking, I tried everything, so why not? And the guarantee made them feel safe. And then of course the problem made sense. But those first two were what I was seeing consistently. That's a long video. It's probably because I ain't talking to y'all boys in a minute. Which was very interesting because that's a problem. If so many people, if everybody, it was like 80% of the responses I'm getting in my post purchase is saying, I'm not sure this is gonna work for me. That is a problem. That is a problem. That's the pure skepticism. Because out of all the people that bought anyways, how many people did not buy because they weren't sure it was gonna work for them, right? How many people did not buy because they weren't sure? They weren't all the way convinced, right? And not even the guarantee could push them. That's why I'm looking to add a lot of conviction through reviews on my website in some clever copy. Not clever, but like, some good copy. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, I say all this to say that's the kind of thought process you gotta have. And like, you gotta have reasons for doing everything you do, and you need to really think through the customer journey and all that other shit. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Thank y'all boys for listening. Yeah, brother. Like I said, y'all boys, hope that everything continues to go in my good graces. I think I'm gonna post 4 videos this month. I don't know if this is video 1 or video 2, but I got 2 more other videos to post. I swear to God, one's gonna be education. We're gonna break down the VSL, and I've been talking about that for like 5 months now. We'll break down the VSL. I've been paying for Loom for no goddamn reason outside of like, sending it to my editors and shit. But all right, y'all boys, y'all be easy. I'm gonna post this today.